Hi students, today we will be learning the chapter Tissues. Previously we have learned that all the living things are made up of cells and many cells compile together to form tissues. Tissues forms organs and organs form organ system, and this is how an organism is made and functions. We also learned that there are unicellular, means single cell organisms, and multicellular organisms. In unicellular organisms, only the single cell is capable of performing the different functions in the cell like respiration, digestion, movement. Whereas in multicellular organisms, there is division of labor, means many cells together form a group to perform various functions. For example, in animals, many muscle cells are responsible for causing movement. Many nerve cells are responsible for carrying messages and signals from one part of the body to another. Blood cells are responsible for transportation of food and oxygen to different parts of the body. In plants also, there are vascular tissues that are responsible for carrying food and water to different parts of the body. Now these tissues are again formed of cells. Let's see what are tissues. A group of cells that are specialized to form a particular function forms a tissue. Tissues can be classified into two main types: plant tissues and animal tissues. Based on the dividing capacity of the tissues, various plant tissues can be classified as meristematic tissues, which are the growing tissues, and permanent tissues. Meristematic tissues can further be of three more types, which are apical, lateral, and intercalary. Permanent tissues can be of two types, which are simple and complex. Now these simple permanent tissues can further be divided into four more types of tissues. Simple permanent tissues can be parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, and protective tissue. Complex permanent tissues can be further of two types: phloem and xylem. I would like to repeat this chart again for you. Plant tissues can be of two types: meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. Meristematic tissues are the growing tissues. These can be apical, lateral, and intercalary. Apical, lateral, intercalary. Permanent tissues can be simple or complex. Simple permanent tissues can be parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, and protective tissues. Complex permanent tissues can be phloem and xylem. Meristematic tissues are responsible for growth in plants. Cells in these tissues divide and form new cells. Apical meristem or the apical meristematic tissue, these are present at the growing tips of the stems and roots and increases their length. That means the division of apical meristematic tissue or the apical meristem causes the growth of the stem or the roots because they are present at the tips of stems and roots. Lateral meristem, also known as cambium, they are present beneath the bark and are responsible for growth in the girth of the trunk. That means lateral meristem grows and it increases the diameter of the trunk of a tree or a plant. Intercalary meristem is present at the internodes or the base of the leaves and increases the length between the nodes. It's actually very easy to remember the names because apical refers to the tips, lateral refers to the sides, and intercalary means says that something present in between. Cells of meristematic tissues change their shape and size to get specialized in performing other functions in plant body. This process is called differentiation. Once the cells of meristematic tissue divide to a certain extent, they become specialized for a particular function. Permanent tissues, as we have seen, can be of simple type or complex type. Simple tissues are composed of same types of cells. We have already seen that simple tissues are of 4 types. Let's see parenchyma simple tissues. Cells of parenchyma tissues are living. They are oval, elongated, and loosely packed with large intercellular space, forming basic packing of tissue, and these are found throughout the plant body. They provide mechanical support to the plant body, and they also store food and nutrients in the vacuoles. Parenchyma simple tissues can be of 2 types: chlorenchyma and erenchyma. Chlorenchyma are parenchyma with chlorophyll, which performs photosynthesis, and erenchyma. In aquatic plants, the cells of parenchyma have very large air cavities to give buoyancy to the plant. These are called the erenchyma. If you look at these names, chlorenchyma is formed of chlorine, which refers to chlorophyll, and you can decode the meaning that parenchyma with chlorophyll, which performs photosynthesis, is called chlorenchyma. Erenchyma, if you look at the name, has air in it, so it provides buoyancy to the aquatic plants. Second type of simple tissue is collenchyma simple tissue. Cells of collenchyma simple tissues are also living. They are oval and elongated and tightly packed with no intercellular spaces. They are found below the epidermis in leaves and stems. Collenchyma simple tissues provide mechanical support to the plant, and they also provide flexibility to plants so that they can bend without breaking. Third type of simple tissue is sclerenchyma simple tissues. The cells of sclerenchyma are not living, they are dead. These are narrow and elongated cells. The cell walls in sclerenchyma are composed of lignin, which makes them hard. Sclerenchyma are found around the vascular bundles, veins of leaves in hard covering of seeds and nuts. For example, sclerenchyma tissues are found in coconut husk. Sclerenchyma helps to make parts of plants hard and stiff. As they are also found in coconut husk, this function can be remembered. Sclerenchyma also provides mechanical strength to the plant. We just heard a new term, lignin. What is lignin? The cell walls of dead cells have a substance called lignin in them, which provides rigidity to the cells. Lignin in a way acts as a cement to the cells. Fourth type of simple tissue is protective tissues. They protect the plant body by forming an outer layer. So there are two types of protective tissues: epidermis, simple tissues, and cork simple tissues. Epidermis simple tissues covers the entire body of the plant. They protect the plant from injury, germs, and water loss. The cells of epidermal tissues forms a continuous layer without any intercellular spaces. On the epidermal layer of the leaf, small openings are present, and these openings are called stomata. Stomata are also present on the soft part of stems. Now, these stomata facilitate the gaseous exchange and transpiration in plants. Each stomata is composed of two specialized cells, and these cells are called guard cells. These cells regulate the opening and closing of the structure called stomata. In the desert plants, epidermis and cutin is a waterproof waxy substance secreted by the epidermis. So in desert plants, epidermis and cutin are thicker to reduce the loss of water due to transpiration, because in deserts we all know that there is scarcity of water. Now, second kind of protective tissue was cork simple tissue. Let's read about it. Cork simple tissues, these type of tissue consist of dead cells with no intercellular spaces at all. They form the outer layer of the old tree trunks. Cork cells have a chemical called suberin in their walls that makes them impervious to gases and water. That means because of the presence of suberin in the cork cells, the movement of gases and water in the walls becomes limited. It actually prevents the movement of gases and water. Cork tissue protects the plants from injuries, germs, and water loss. Cork, being light in weight, is used for making several products like the bottle stoppers you must have seen, and shuttlecock also. They are all made of cork simple tissue. So moving on to the next type of permanent tissues, which are complex tissues. Group of different types of cells performing common tasks together are named as complex tissues. So it's named complex tissues because different types of cells form one group to perform a common task. Types of complex tissues are xylem and phloem. Xylem is the tissue that transports water and nutrients from the roots to the upper part of the plant. Xylem is composed of 4 types of cells, which are trachete, vessel, xylem parenchyma, and xylem sclerenchyma. Tracheids are long elongated cells with tapering ends. Tracheids cells are dead. Tracheids transport water through pits. The cell walls of the plant cells have certain depressions on them, and these are called pits. Pits act as the channel for the transport of water and minerals between adjacent cells. Second type of xylem was vessel. Vessel is a pipe-like structure. Vessels are dead and have lignified thick cell walls. Remember, we learned about lignin. The vessels are dead and have lignified cell walls, means they have lignin over it. The lignin was the substance which was present in the plant cells, dead plant cells, and it provides rigidity to the cells and lignin also acts as the cement for the cells. So coming on to the vessels again, in vessel cells, upper and lower portion of cell wall is absent. Third cell was parenchyma. Parenchyma are living cells. They store food and nutrients. Fourth type of xylem was sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma are dead cells and they provide mechanical support to the plant. Second type of complex permanent tissue was phloem. Phloem is the tissue that transports food from the site of photosynthesis to different parts of plants. Phloem is composed of 4 types of cells: sieve cells, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, phloem fiber, or the blast cells. All these types of cells are living except for the phloem fibers, which are also called the blast fibers. Sieve cells are elongated and have thin cell walls. They have cytoplasm, but nucleus is absent and other organelles are also absent. Sieve cells are responsible for transportation of food and nutrients in the plant. Second type of phloem cell were companion cells. Companion cells have cytoplasm, nucleus, and also the other organelles. Companion cells perform the task required for sieve cells for living. So they support sieve cells. Phloem parenchyma only stores food. That is their only function. Phloem fibers have thick cell wall and provide mechanical support to the plant. So that was about the plant tissues. Moving on to the animal tissues. Animal tissues can be of 4 types: muscular tissue, nervous tissue, connective tissue, and epithelial tissue. Muscular tissue is composed of elongated cells called the muscle fibers. Muscular tissue allows the movement in body by contraction and relaxation. Muscular tissue contains special protein called contractile protein, which contracts and relaxes to cause movement. Now, muscular tissues can be further of 3 types: smooth, cardiac, and striated or skeletal. The cells of smooth muscles are spindle shaped and each one has 1 nucleus. Spindle shape is somewhat, not exactly, but somewhat like the shape of your eye. The smooth muscles are of that shape. Smooth muscle is found in those organs where involuntary movement is possible. That means they move automatically. For example, the muscles of stomach. We don't give a command to our brain to move these muscles. They keep on moving because they have to do all the functions of digestion. Second muscular tissue is cardiac tissue. The cells of cardiac muscles are in the form of branched fibers. These are found in the heart. Cardiac refers to heart. Cardiac muscles have many nucleus and striations are present on these muscles. What are striations? Striations are the linear marks on the muscles. So, cardiac muscles have striations on them, have linear marks on them. Cardiac muscles can move continuously throughout the life in a rhythmic pattern because they have to beat our heart in a proper rhythm. Third type of muscular tissue is striated, which is also called skeletal tissue. The cells of striated muscles are in the form of long, unbranched fibers. Remember, cardiac tissues were branched, and striated or skeletal muscles are unbranched. They have many nucleus. They have striations are present on the muscle fibers. Striated muscles are found in those organs where voluntary movement is possible, like our hands, our legs, our back, neck, etc. Second type of animal tissue is nervous tissue. Nervous tissues makes the nervous system, and it is composed of specialized cells called neuron. Nerve cells are also called neuron. A neuron consists of a cell body. This cell body is known as cyton. So a neuron has cyton with a nucleus and cytoplasm, from which numerous hair-like structures arise, and these hair-like structures are called dendrites. One long extension from the neuron, it is called axon. Neurons are connected end to end to form nerves through connective tissue. Nervous tissue are found in brain, spinal cord, and nerves. That means the nervous system. The nervous tissue gives us the ability to respond to a stimuli, or it gives us the ability to react. They transmit information from body parts to brain. They also transmit orders from the brain to the body parts. Nervous and muscular tissue together control the movement in all the animals. Third type of tissue of animals is connective tissue. Connective tissue contains cells in a matrix. What is matrix? Matrix is a chemical substance in solid, liquid, or jelly form. Now, connective tissues are of various types: bones, cartilages, tendons, ligament, areolar, adipose, blood, and lymph. So, these are the 8 types of connective tissues. Let's hear it once more. Bones, cartilages, tendons, ligament, areolar, adipose, blood, and lymph. Let's have a look at their functions. Cells in bones are embedded in matrix of calcium and phosphate compounds. Bones form framework of body, and they facilitate movement of muscles. Bones are hard and inflexible, and they have blood vessels. Tendons. Tendon is made up of white fibers, and tendons connect bones to muscles. Fourth type is ligament. Ligament is made up of white and yellow fibers. Ligament connects the bone to bone. Tendons connects bone to muscles, and ligaments connect bone to bone. Ligaments are more flexible as compared to tendon. Areolar tissue. Areolar tissue consists of cells and fibers in the matrix. It is found between skin and the underlying muscles, and around blood vessels, around nerves, and bone marrow. Areolar tissue is strong enough to bind different types of tissues and soft enough to maintain the flexibility. Areolar tissues fill the space inside internal organs and supports them. Next type is adipose. Adipose tissue stores fat below the skin and between the internal organs. When present in excess, adipose results in obesity. Adipose provides cushioning to internal organs as it stores fat, and it gives shape to body parts like the limbs, breasts. Adipose acts as insulator and protects us from cold. Seventh type is blood. Blood, as we all know, is a fluid composed of blood cells, platelets, and plasma. Blood flows throughout the body and transports various materials like gases, digested food, waste materials, hormones, enzymes. Blood plasma contains two types of blood cells, which are red blood cells and white blood cells. Eighth type is lymph. Lymph is a whitish fluid obtained from the blood itself. Lymph contains blood plasma, WBCs or the white blood cells, platelets, but no RBCs. Lymph transports food materials, waste materials, and gases which blood cannot transfer. So moving on to the fourth type of animal tissue, which is the epithelial tissue, also called epithelium. Skin which covers and protects our body is epithelium. Epithelium can be also found in the inner lining of mouth, lining of blood vessels, covering of other organs and cavities in the body. Cells in the epithelium tissue are lightly packed and have no intercellular spaces. Epithelial tissues are separated by other tissues by fibrous basement membrane. Epithelial tissues protects the organs which it covers. It keeps different organs separated from each other. Epithelium forms a selectively permeable layer over body and the other organs also. Epithelial allows certain substances to pass through and stops the others which are not required by the body. And in certain cases, epithelial tissue also secretes and acts like glands. Now, there are different types of epithelial tissues. These are squamous, cuboidal, columnar, and glandular epithelium. Let's learn about them. Squamous. Squamous consists of thin, flat, disc-like, polygonal or irregular shaped cells with round and flat nucleus. So they are flat, disc-like, irregular shaped cells or polygonal shaped cells and have round and flat nucleus. Squamous forms the lining of nose, lining of blood vessels, etc. Squamous protects the underlying parts of body from the mechanical injury, and it also prevents the entry of germs inside the body. Squamous cells facilitates the diffusion of gases also. Second type of epithelial tissue is cuboidal tissue. Cuboidal tissue consists of cube-like cells of almost equal height and width, and it is quite clear from the name cuboidal that it consists of cube-like cells Cuboidal tissues are found in kidney tubules, salivary glands, etc. And cuboidal tissues provide the mechanical support to organs and help in absorption and excretion. Third type is columnar cells. Columnar consists of tall cylindrical cells. The free end of these cells consist of finger-like projections. Columnar tissues are found in the inner surface of stomach, intestine, etc. Columnar helps in absorption of nutrients, secretion of gastric juices, and provides mechanical support to the organs. Fourth type is glandular epithelium. Glandular epithelium tissues are the tissues that form multicellular glands which produce different types of hormones or chemicals. These are special gland cells that can secrete substances. For example, they are found in the sweat glands in the skin. So students, we learned that there are 4 main types of animal tissues. These are muscular tissues, nervous tissue, connective tissue, and epithelial tissue. Muscular tissue is meant for movement and locomotion, and these are of 3 types, which are striated, smooth, and cardiac. Second type is the nervous tissue, which is meant for control and coordination, and they are made up of specialized cells called the neurons. Third type is the connective tissue, which is meant for binding material, supporting and transporting material in our body. And further, it is of 8 types, which are bones, cartilages, tendons, ligament, areolar, adipose, blood, and lymph. Fourth type is the epithelial tissue, which is meant for protection by covering. And this can be of 4 types, which are squamous, cuboidal, columnar, and glandular epithelium. So that is all about the tissues, students. Hope you will remember all the names, and we will meet in the next video discussing the next chapter of Science 9th NCERT. Thank you.